I want to talk to you about my precious mum. My mum in 1961 took the thalidomide tablets as it was her first pregnancy and she was really suffering with morning sickness. So my mum took the tablets. My mum didn't have a clue that thalidomide was actually causing damage to unborn babies. But my mum obviously didn't know, so she took it. I was born in 1962, and obviously my mum was worried that she'd taken these tablets, and so at the time the only option to check that the baby was okay was to have an x-ray, which we all know now they wouldn't do. They would not x-ray a pregnant person. What they would do would be to give them a scan. So anyway, the disappointing thing about this was that in 1958 there were red flags raised that there was something wrong, and that people that were taking these tablets were giving birth to babies that had defects. We've all watched Call the Midwife, and we've all seen how this affected the women in 1961 and 62. Babies were being born with defects because these tablets that women were taking was causing birth defects. At the time, again, there wasn't a product recall like if you went to the co-op and brought a product that wasn't right, that you could call back into the co-op and say, hang on a minute, this product is containing something that's not right, or it's gone off. So for me personally, this fight is against misinformation. My mum took these tablets in good faith. She didn't realise that there were effects for taking them. Myself, you know, the only thing that I have to do is like turn the sleeves up on anything that I buy, because obviously it's a bit short I'm a bit short in the arms, and you've seen me on lives. I'm a bit smaller than most people. There was 1 in 5 that mothers had taken these tablets and they were born with defects. So what do the governments do? What do the scientists do? They start testing on pregnant animals to see if there's any effect on them. As we know, animals are not humans, and so the results are ridiculous. They don't match what's actually happening. After my mum took the tablets and discovered that there was side effects, she had to go through her whole pregnancy worrying every single day. We all know that pregnant women, especially your first child, you worry. You worry what the effects are going to be, or whether your child's going to be okay anyway. So imagine my mum. Imagine how my mum felt going through her whole pregnancy worrying. fear that something was wrong. Then, after that, worrying if any effects were going to be passed down through generations. And then especially as my grandson was born with cerebral palsy. My mum worried that this was caused because she took thalidomide. She took the tablets. Did she cause this? The fact that my grandson and her great-grandson was born after having strokes in the womb. Where is this science going? Why are they not challenging this science? Why will they not have a scientific hearing to find out what's going on? Whether animals used in science is useless, as I think it is. I don't think that anything that they're going to do is going to help humans. Our family have lived in absolute desperation, and we have never had any answers because they can't. They cannot prove that thalidomide has continued or gone through generations and caused different effects. Testing on animals hasn't proved anything. It's not proved that people are safe. We're not. This is the biggest scandal of our times. It's got to stop. We want answers. We want our Prime Minister, our ministers to look into this. We want answers to why big pharmaceutical industries are testing on animals to prove human illnesses. It's not working. My precious mum has worried. She's 80 years old now, and she worries that because she took those tablets all those years ago, of the effects that it's passing on through generations. We want answers, and the only way to get them is to get a scientific hearing, is to get the MPs to actually question Big Pharma. What are you doing? I'm sorry, but I just want answers. I want answers for my mum.